You ever wonder why certain people can get to a goal faster than most people? I can guarantee you it's not just their willpower. It's probably something that they're doing called habit stacking. So today we're going to talk about habit stacking for the Black Man. Welcome to the Black Man Black Health Podcast. I'm your host, Drew Cost, and I want to start off with an example and then help you guys understand how to apply this. So for most Black men who feel they're not achieving a goal or getting somewhere, this can be in business, relationships, or even just opening up. It's usually because they're looking at the whole picture or the whole forest and they're not actually breaking it down with tangible steps. Now, you're probably saying, Drew, we know that. We've heard that 10,079 times. You might have, but the reason why we're doing this episode is to help those who haven't. So an example I want to start with is when I wanted to squat. My goal was to squat 600 pounds. I got to the goal. I did it. I have videos to prove it just in case you think I'm lying. But what most people didn't see was me breaking that goal down into it was a good amount of time to break it down. And now I had been squatting for a while, but I didn't have like super big numbers. When I started to get around like 500, that's when a lot of fear would set in. So I had to break this goal down into some small chunks. First goal was like, hey, squat 500 for 5. The next goal was be able to squat like 530 for like 2 and keep that going for like a couple weeks. Now, so we won't bore you with this. All I was doing was I was breaking this big goal takes us 600 down into maybe 6 steps or 6 increments or 6 phases. I like this also when helping people with weight loss. I usually say break this goal down into maybe 4 big phases and just habit stack them. So the habit that I had to develop was, I had to get strong, but the habit I had to develop was approaching the bar without fear. The second habit was approaching the bar even when I'm tired. And the third one was approaching the bar, visualizing me actually squatting it. So here are 3 steps, phases that you can use if you are a man and you're trying to achieve some form of a goal. The first one I would say is visualization. And I'm not talking about just like looking at yourself in the future with like some hope, but actually like take time each day, even if it's 2 to 5 minutes, to sit and think about what you want. What does it look like? What does it feel like? What are you wearing? What's the smell? Sit and think about that. Like, let yourself get lost there. Now, there's nothing magical that happens with that, but the thing that does happen is you start to tell yourself a different story. A story I started telling myself is, if people squat at 600 pounds, why can't I do it? Right? And I was like, if people who haven't done steroids have done it, why can't I do it? I never done steroids. And I was like, hey, I can do that if they can. Am I willing to pay the price? So the first one is visualizing exactly where you want to be. Sit there every day, right? If you can't take 2 to 5 minutes to sit and think and let yourself brainstorm where you want to be at in a couple years, months, then you probably don't want this. The second thing I would do is count up the cost. How much is this going to cost me? How much is this goal going to cost me if I don't get it? Counting up the cost. These are things that you can do just still in the same place as you are visualizing. You can be at your home, a library, a coffee shop, wherever you want. The reason why we want to count up the cost is usually if we don't, when we get into the middle of chasing this goal, we usually give up. We see this a lot with weight loss. People are aiming to lose weight. Usually they find out, hey, this is going to be hard to lose some weight for 8 weeks. So they stop. Count up the cost prior and see, is this a price I want to pay? Right? When we think about clothes, appliances, technology, there's a cost to it that we have to pay, and you decide if I'm going to pay it or not. But the third thing I would do is I would start moving towards it. Start doing something towards it, even if it's small. I think as Black men or as men in general, we get caught up in thinking that all of our successes and all of our wins have to be major. No, they can be small. They can be really, really short. They can be so minute that it doesn't seem like it's doing anything. But if you add it up over a period of time, you see some amazing stuff. I have a cup on my desk. And in this cup, every time I do self-care, I put a marble in the cup so that every day when I go see that cup, I see it getting filled. It's a reminder that these small wins are going to give me bigger wins. Now, when I first started doing it, the cup was like 2-3 marbles. But I said, I'm going to do this every day. I'm going to take it day by day. I'm not going to try to just master it all at once. So for black men, I want you to first give yourself some grace, man. Like, take a deep breath, give yourself some grace, no matter how hard this journey is going to be, and find out, hey, let me start visualizing myself being there, talking like that person, wearing what that future person would wear, smelling like that person. Get lost in it, right? One of my things that I do now, I envision myself coaching some people and it being like some deep level coaching and not a lot of people, just like 4 or 5, but making money like Dan Martell. If you don't know who Dan Martell is, please go look him up. He's a freaking monster. But coaching people deeper, and then being able to have time when I go and give to like a boys and girls club and things like that. So I visualize that now, seeing myself wearing what future Drew would wear, seeing myself in the car, in the house that Drew's going to be in. It doesn't have to be something crazy, but you want to start visualizing. And then second, counting up the cost every day. I'm writing down, I'm committed to becoming this person because ABC. This is what this commitment will do, A, B, and C. If I don't commit, this is what happens, A, B, and C. The more you become intentional about your future and about getting this goal, it'll start coming towards you if you start going towards it, but you got to move. And then third, that's the third part. You got to start moving towards it. Move towards it. Now, we have a program called the Power of 50 where 12-week program. We find out your goal. We find out what habits you have now. And then we come up with a plan to help march you towards this goal strategically. I believe if you are making big changes in life, you got to be physically fit with that goal or getting fit. You have to be mentally well. And then you have to be, I believe, honestly, spiritually well. Spiritually, mentally, and physically, you are a beast to be reckoned with. And the reason why I say that is because now you have all of those factors working with each other versus against each other. I often will tell people who are Christians and they love God, we want you to love God. We want you to be in shape too. I would tell people who are in great shape and have no spiritual walk, it's great that you're in shape, but you need some spiritual walk. And then everybody needs mental wellness. With the Power of 50, the cool part about it is you get to see yourself tracking the progress. It's not that you can't do it on your own. We just all know that you are great at doing things when you have accountability, when you have a coach, a guide, a team. The Power of 50 is designed for that. It's actually something that I wish I had when I first, I wish I had the Power of 50 when I was like freaking teenager. The reason for that is I would have been looking at life differently. I probably, honestly, would have been in a different place in life by now. But we're not going back to the past. So if that's something that you know, I need to make a step, I need to get with a coach, a guide, I need this help, this is for you. Does this sound like something that can help you? If you're saying yes, then I want you to go sign up. The program is called The Power of 50. I'll make sure I link it to the show notes. But this is a great way of how you get to the goal you want. Stacking those habits, stacking those disciplines, getting the guide, getting the accountability, getting around other men, figuring out where you can help, where you need the help, figuring out what you need to let go, what you need to grab a hold of. It's possible, man. It's definitely possible. And I believe you have what it takes to get there. And I want to be a help on the journey with you. Be great, guys. I'm out of here.